We always pray before we start, so I'll do that. Oh, we thank you, God, that you have your hand upon us. We thank you that we are blessed with these peaceful people, and we thank you that you are with us every day. Right. Thank you for those who came on the 31st. It was a great day. It was a really great day, and it was a very peaceful march. We had those two beautiful horses, which we probably won't get back again, but anyway, they were great to have then. And just in your mind, see this as it's not a you and us, it's a we. We are here as a group standing for our country. You know, just because someone's got the mic doesn't make them any different to you. When you have a 1,500 piece or even a 100 piece jigsaw puzzle and one piece is missing, the motivation goes, you don't want to do it. So every single one of us here is a piece of that jigsaw puzzle. We're making a stand. We're being proud, we're being strong, and we will not back down. So thank you so much. Every single one of you is appreciated. We now have Worldwide Rally for Freedom Mackay. We have our Facebook page. We have channels on Rumble, TikTok, and YouTube. So you can follow us on any of those things. It might be a good idea to look us up on something else, because we know what the government's going to do with social media very soon. So, why are we marching? Why are we marching? We're marching because, well, the national march today is against government corruption. It's not a secret anymore. We know that there's government corruption. And yes, I've got notes. I've been criticised for having notes, but guess what? I'd rather have notes and get the right information than stand up here and pretend I know everything. So I've got notes. They're dot points, but it helps me remember the facts. The government is deliberately doing things that will harm us. It is not an accident. It is not an accident that the cost of living has gone up. It's a deliberate move on the part of the government. Remember what Fauci said? You will own nothing and you will be happy. Well, no, sorry, we're not accepting that. This is a free country and we will own what we work for. Electricity has gone up. We sell our coal for next to nothing to China, and we pay a fortune for it. It is our resource. As an Aussie, it is our resource. So you can't tell me there's no corruption there. Food, cost of food has gone through the roof. It's just it's mind-blowing when you go in and something's gone up 50% or 100% even. Rates are going up through the roof. It's deliberate. It is deliberate. Taxes. All our taxes are going up. And let's get this straight. In Victoria, they're looking at people with spare bedrooms to tax them if they've got a spare bedroom. I was on a bus with a lady recently who is already paying a view tax because she has an apartment on the 6th level. So she pays for the view she has. Oh, it just doesn't stop. Rents have gone through the roof, and to get housing, it is so hard to get housing. I've already been approached by someone today who needs housing for herself and her daughter. If you know anyone, please let me know. I can vouch for this person. So please, let's look out for each other. Freedom of speech. We've got people who are being prosecuted now, and even a doctor in Melbourne, for saying things privately on his Facebook page, and he's not allowed to practice. He's never had a medical complaint against him. But he did. He thought the wrong way. So he's lost his career. Dare I say, the hospital? Dare I say it? Well, it's a mess, isn't it? It's a mess, absolutely. The experiences Rhonda and I have had with patients over there not getting treatment, having to invoke Ryan's rule, and it's a nightmare over there. The ambulance ramping in a lot of places, it's incredible. So digital ID is a big one. It's coming in. We will all be tracked with every single place we go, every single cent we spend, and it's just not going to be freedom for us in any way. Now, Australia's ready to roll out the digital ID for social media, and they're starting with the no one under 16 on Facebook. So let's call it for what it is. It's not protection for the children. It is actually the beginning of the digital ID. So they want to roll it out. Australia, I've been told, does not yet have the technology to do this. We haven't got the technology yet to pull it off. There's only one system in the world that has what is needed for us to pull out this digital ID in Australia. So I'm told China is the only place, the Chinese social credit system, where we know, depending on your credits, whether you're allowed out of your house or not, whether you're allowed to spend money or not. It's just, you might as well be in prison. So the government is never going to say, oh, we're adopting Chinese social credit system, are they? Because we'd have thousands of people here. They're couching it in all these pretty words like, well, we want to protect your children. Safety. We're doing it for the kids. Rubbish. They're not. They're doing it to gain more and more control of us. Join the dots. When I heard this, I thought, aha. So Albo, he's been over in China. He's been in China. He's been in Beijing. He's been with the leaders of BlackRock. Now, I wonder why. Join the dots and see what he's trying to bring in. So it's all happening. And it is happening now. But we have to join the dots. We'll have a cashless society. I won't even start on what that will mean for everybody. Net zero. Look at the wind farms. Net zero. And how much coal they need to make the steel to have the wind farms. And several wind farms have now been canned anyway. EVs. The steel they need for them. The coal they need to make them. The fact that many mechanics won't service them because they burst into flames. Funny about that. Many boats won't bring them in because they've had fires on their ships. We need to protect our farmers who are being taxed out of being able to stay there. Their rates, their taxes, their insurances, the whole lot. Not to mention the chemical spraying from the air, which is proven. It is in a government link. You can look it up. Nothing I'm saying cannot be evidenced. It is all evidenced. The WHO pandemic treaty, where the WHO can just say, oh, there's a pandemic, and we all have to bow and scrape. We will not. I never owned a mask, never ever owned a mask. We did not have to wear masks. So we will not comply to what we do not have to do for our health. We do need to reform immigration policies. We're not anti-immigration, but we are anti the way it's being handled at the moment. We have zero tolerance for racism, zero tolerance. We are all one people. We are all one. And we have got to continue that way. The smart cities, if you don't know about them, you better look at them. 15-minute cities where you will not be allowed to go more than 15 minutes from home from the minute you die. You will die, play, study, be educated, work, be born, die in that area within 15 minutes of home, and that is a 15-minute bike ride, not a 15-minute drive in the car. It's all there. So we're having all these restrictions on us, but the Palestinians can burn our flag. They can say and do what they like. They can walk over the harbour bridge. It just doesn't add up. It's all so inconsistent. One of our very own councillors, Belinda Hassan, not only attended the pro-Palestinian march that was right here about 3 weeks ago, she spoke at it. Sorry, Belinda, but that's not acceptable in our eyes. So there's a lot in there. I could have said a lot more about each one of them, but we don't want to talk forever. We've got some other people who would like to share. I've asked people to share why they're here. You know, we have been here since July the 24th, 2022? Or 21? 21, okay. So we've been here for over 4 years, never missed a Saturday. Every single Saturday we are here. And we need to be here. We've got now, our followers are growing. This is not exciting because we're seeing success for us. This is exciting because we are seeing people waking up. We are seeing people wanting to know the truth and people growing the courage to stand for their kids and grandkids. I want my grandkids to grow up in the world that we know this has been going on for a long time, but it was very much in the background. I want them to grow up in a world that I had, where I could go for a bike ride. You know, I was safe, no mobile phones, where they could, you know, we just had the freedom. We're just going to play down the park. That's what I want for my grandchildren. I don't want them learning that just because you've got some particular body parts doesn't mean that you're a male or a female. They're being taught that from kindy up. We've got kitty litter in classrooms. We've got milk in saucers in classrooms for the kids that identify as a cat. If you go to if a child of 4 is taken to a therapist and that therapist says, "Oh, I'm now a cat," that therapist must then plan that child's life as a cat. That therapist is not allowed to say to the little girl or boy, because there are only two sexes, let's look at what your thinking is here and let's maybe get this a bit straight. If they do, they are taken off the Australian Board of Psychologists. I had a friend who was the president of the Australian Council of, what was it, Rhonda? Psychology. She was kicked out because she would not comply with that. If I've got the names of those two organisations wrong, come and see me because I'm prepared to, I can look them up and tell you. You know, we want our kids to grow up safe. I was listening to a talk about what's happening in the Western Australian curriculum, a teacher who's been brave enough to stand up and write a letter to a politician. And it's not the Western Australian curriculum, this is a national curriculum. It's all happening here. There's no time to teach the kids. History's being changed. I know even before I retired, there was not enough time to teach the kids tables and spelling. I made it because I wouldn't teach them some of the other rubbish that was being pushed down their throats. And I was not popular. But we have to make a stand, people. I lost a job in 2001. I lost a job. I was a single mum and I lost a job because I stood up made a moral stand in a private school where I thought, this is not happening. I will not stand here and allow this to happen. And I lost my job. You know what? God took care of it. I'm still eating. I'm better off than I was back then. We just have to have faith in whatever you've got faith in. For me, it's God. He's never let me down. And we have to keep pushing through, making a stand, and there will be a way that will open. But while I think of it, the next march is on Sunday, the 19th of October. We've got plenty of time. We will be in touch with the police and hopefully be able to walk on the road. We haven't had time to do that for this one. And we will ramp it up for the 19th of October, if you could put that in your diary.